Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Dance Teacher Pep Talk. I am your host, Amanda, and I am so glad you are here. This is a space for dance teachers and anyone interested in teaching dance who is looking for motivation and fresh ideas. As teachers, we spend our days motivating and giving pep talks to our students, and now this podcast is a pep talk just for you. We hope that it helps to ignite new ideas and even work through some deep dance-related thoughts before you head into the studio. Thank you for your support, and now let's get into today's episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dance Teacher Pep Talk. I'm so excited for today's episode. It is definitely a different one. But my goal here at Dance Teacher Pep Talk is to provide inspiration, new ideas, new outlooks of things, as we go through our day-to-day as dance teachers. And the way that I do this too is, in an open-ended sense, so that maybe you aren't a dance teacher, but maybe you can feel inspiration from what it is that I'm bringing into the episodes and apply it to how it works out in your life. And so today's episode kind of is like that too. So whether you're a dance teacher, a creator, anyone really, though I'm going to be giving examples as a dance teacher, you may see how it applies in your life. So, for me, we can always get caught in the cycle of wake up, prepare, day-to-day stuff, life stuff, teaching, all that. And so I always think it's fun to approach things in new ways or different ways, especially as we're getting closer to the end of our season. Maybe our inspiration is not as fiery as it was in the beginning of the year. And so for that reason, I thought today's episode might be a fun one to kind of show you that there are different ways we can approach each day. So whether or not you follow astrology, because this is going to be an astrology episode, you might find this topic quite interesting. But if you're into the woo, this episode is for you. And if you aren't, like I said, this may be a little eye-opening for you and provide a spark or a new idea for how you carry through your week. Because a lot of the time when we think about astrology, we think, if you're new to it, or even if you're just aware of it, the most general basic level typically is the horoscope. So looking up what it is that your sun sign is and what the horoscope is for the day. And so, that's always an interesting way to carry and understand, what is your energy for the day ahead for the sun sign that rules you. But another way to look at it too that's super interesting is, did you know that each day of the week is represented by a different planet that holds different energies? And with that, we can, harness that power and work with those energies to be our most optimal, efficient, and inspired selves. And I think this idea is so interesting, really, really, truly so interesting. And, whether it's the energy of that planet, the themes, the concepts, you can look at each day with that in mind. And so if I have lost you, let me clarify a little bit. So in dance, we have our weekly schedule, your teaching schedule, and we have all the different tasks that we take part in. As dance teachers, we don't just go in and teach class. There is so much more. So there's class planning, choreography, admin, song searching, music editing, idea mapping, just to go through a few. But what if we were to understand which days these tasks would be best suited for based on the energy of the day's ruling planet? Maybe things would flow more for you. Maybe we have set up our schedule in a way that is really going against the energy that day is wanting. And could we maybe shift and change some of our tasks so that we are working within the best energy flow as we can? And so that's what today's episode is about, is using each day of the week, each ruling planet for each day, the energy, the themes and concepts that go around that, and how they apply to our work as dance teachers. So I'm going to dive into it. I'm going to go day to day. This might be an episode that you want to take notes through, jot down ideas, because again, it may change the entire workflow of your week. So let's get started. All right, first up, the first day of the week, Sunday. The planetary association with Sunday is the sun. So when we think of the sun, okay, we think about the center of the universe. It is light, energy giving, fiery. It is warm. So when we think about how this relates to us, it connects to self. It's our energy. It's our expression, our desires. So Sunday is the time to give back to yourself. And, for so long through history, Sunday has been noted as a day of rest. And really, there's a reason for that.
So on Sundays, questions to ask yourself as you're giving yourself that rest time and that rest day is, what lights you up? Where is your creativity guiding you? This is a day to not push, but it's rather a day to be in flow. Feeling what lights you up. Go from there. Sundays might be a great day for improv. It's a great day to create for self without that push. So again, if you're going into this idea of creation on a Sunday, it shouldn't be from a place of like, okay, I have to do this. It needs to be from a place because it just feels right and it feels good to do. So this might be a day that you just play some music that you love, put a camera up to, watch what's happening, and improv. Because you might want to look back on that footage and there might be something in there that is material that you want to take or you want to build upon in days ahead. So, but really going from the lighting you up place. Sundays are also a great time to meditate and connect and think about, what kind of ideas do you want to share in the week ahead to bring into your classes? Just, again, flowing, not forcing. This is a day to get out of your dance zone and note where inspiration comes in. Take a drive, go for a walk, spend time outdoors. Sometimes, truly, my biggest inspirations come when my mind has been silent for a while and I'm not thinking like, okay, what am I doing for class this week? What is a piece idea I can begin to develop, etc. It's sometimes when I'm just completely not even in that mode that the ideas will come through. So getting out of the dance zone can help your mind to clear for that so that those thoughts can kind of be built up within your mind. Another thing that's great for Sunday too is doing things that are creative outside of your dancing, writing, painting, working with clay, noting how these creative practices may show up also in your dancing at a later date. Like, so for me, I love writing. And I've noticed in the past that a journal entry that I've wrote has created a whole piece concept for myself in the future. And again, I'm just doing this because it's coming from my heart. It's coming from myself. And yeah, maybe it'll be used down the line, but I don't do it in the sense of thinking that it will be. And then sometimes that is where all of the biggest inspiration comes from for your best ideas. So that's how we can harness the energy of the sun on Sunday. All right, Monday. The planetary association with Monday is the moon. So like Sunday, it has a restful connection, but not in the same way as Sunday. Sunday is about feeling what lights you up, and Monday is more about connecting to emotion. It's a day of contemplation. And to me, it's always so funny that Monday for so many is the start of the work week. And that really goes against like the planetary energy. But we can pull from the traits of the moon to make our first day of the work week, Monday, be more in flow with the energy. Mondays are a great day to go into it at a slower pace. Okay, so don't expect to launch out of the gate on the first day of the work week. Encourage yourself to get moving by doing gentle forms of movement or exercise that you love to initiate the start of your week. Because when you feel that inspiration of movement in your body, that is going to then spill over into your classes in the week ahead. Because the moon has more of an emphasis on emotion, reflection, contemplation, this is actually a good day to work on your plans or your organization. So today's a great day to plan your week ahead. Plan your personal life, your classes, things like that. And not in a whole lot of detail, just kind of like on a concept-based idea. What are you wanting to do in your classes this week? What is your gut instinct saying about things that you need to work on this week? It isn't the time to start anything new, but it's just about the regular planning stages. So Monday, we lay the foundation, the class plan or structure, some maybe small choreography notes or ideas. Today is a day of preparation because Tuesday comes and Tuesday is ruled by Mars, the planet of Mars. And Mars is the planet of action. It is hardworking. It is driven. It is that let's get down to business planet. And this is the day to tackle the tasks. Your office admin work that you need to do, projects that you're working on. If you need energy and motivation to push through your tasks, the energy of Tuesday is the push that you need. So, do you have new ideas in your mind? Choreography ideas, project pitches, class exercises, warm-up development. This is the day that you're going to want to focus on that. So make it happen. Really use that energy of Tuesday to get you going. Is there a specific to-do list that is just for your dance teaching life? or a specific to-do list for your personal life, this is the day to go at it and check the boxes. Because then Wednesday comes next. And Wednesday is ruled by the planet Mercury. Common themes with Mercury are communication, writing, speaking, discussing, and more. Things that have to do with learning, knowledge building. When, we think of these things, they have a lot of air theme qualities. So if you're thinking of elements too, like you may have noticed like Tuesday sounds a lot more fiery, right? Wednesday here, this sounds like a lot more of an air theme where you have that connection to the communication, the thoughts free flowing, the learning, like I said, the knowledge building. And if you're ever blaming Mercury retrograde for things, it's because when in retrograde, communication supposedly goes awry. So it kind of like goes backwards. So you can think about that too in the sense of Wednesday. But like for me, recording the podcast, Wednesday would be an amazing day to record, highlighting verbal communication. That would be a great day to put out the podcast or to work on the podcast, not necessarily launch that episode, but to speak it, to put it out into existence. And in an ideal week, I totally do that. But right now I just record whenever I'm able to, truly. But are there projects that you have that involve writing or speaking, proposals, parent information, emails, assignments, phone calls? This is the day for that. So I know I talked about on Tuesday with the planet of action, like going at it with, all of the different to-do tasks that you have and, getting office admin stuff done. But Wednesday is also a great day for that, especially when it comes to your office admin tasks that require communication. Now, I know that we can't do emails just one day of the week. Like, wouldn't that be nice? But truly, maybe for the heavier, bigger, longer emails or things like that, today would be the day for that because the energy supports that. So this would also be a great day to expand your knowledge as well. Outside of the communication that you're doing, we talked about how an air theme can be that like mental stimulation. And with expanding your knowledge, this might be a great day to read a book. Pick up that book you've been wanting to. Take that continuing ed credit. Review a download that's been sitting on your computer. Things like that. This is a great day to do that. All right, moving on to Thursday. Thursday is ruled by the planet Jupiter. Now, when we think of Jupiter, we think mega planet, giant, super. And because of that, a lot of today can be grand, large, massive. It's a day that marks expansion and growth. And because of this, I sometimes feel that Thursdays are a beautiful day to work through choreography or to begin thinking about how to execute pieces or projects, creative ventures, and things like that you have on your mind, because the largeness of Jupiter can help to support the largeness of your vision. If you're looking to do class planning on Thursdays, it's a great idea to structure new outlines, choreograph new warm-ups. These are things that Thursday would really help to initiate that big vision that is your class goal and structure for a given week, month, year. So looking big, looking not just at the day ahead, but long term. This is a day to dream big. Think about goals that you have and where you want to go with them. Begin to lay out frameworks for how you want to get there. Is it a choreography gig that you want to book coming up? Is there a job you want to book? Dream big. Put the vision into action on this Thursday and really start to think about what steps you need to take and going after those big dreams and goals, because Jupiter will really help to facilitate that. Okay, moving into Friday. Friday's planet is Venus. Venus is the planet of love, art, creativity, beauty, romance, all the beautiful things. It has a very feminine nature. And I know I mentioned Thursday is a great day for choreography and envisioning, but I also feel Friday is a great day for that because it is involved in these beautiful ideas and images. Music searching, vision mapping, creating, choreography, all the artistic things that we can do with the support of the Venus energy of Friday is just going to feel so much more in flow, and it'll feel right for you, for your movement. Taking Fridays also to soak in inspiration, spend time in nature, allow ideas to flow to you. Similarly to how I said in the beginning of the week, that can be helpful. Maybe you do an end of the week check-in on Friday. Be open to receiving new piece ideas or class exercises on a day like today and really just see what your mind and your soul think up. All right. And the last day of the week is Saturday, and the planet that rules Saturday is Saturn. Saturn as a planet, in terms of energy, is about system, structure, rules, responsibility. It has, in my eyes, like a stern energy. It feels stern. And the energy of getting things in order. Like order, yes, that's a good way to describe it. Getting things into order. Saturdays are a good day for editing music, cleaning pieces, making notes on how to clean your pieces, putting together notes or systems or outlines for your classes in the week ahead. Those might be great things to do on Saturdays. The other thing that's really helpful too, as you're preparing for a new week, as you close out the week, is clearing and cleaning your space. So if you prepare your space for the week ahead, you're setting yourself up for success. Meal prep. And I know a lot of people meal prep on Sunday, but Saturday's energy actually harnesses a lot more that would feel better with that. Meal prepping on Saturday. Scheduling your workout classes or movement practices for the week so that you are setting yourself up to be the best you that you can be in this week. Because as dance teachers, we have our teaching schedule, but where do you have your own practice schedule for whatever movement that's important to you? That's really important. And then also Saturday is a great day too to just take any tasks that are left over from the week ahead that need finishing up. That Saturday, Saturn energy is going to help you to get all of that done. So whether you follow these ideas or not, this is just, to me, such an interesting way to set up tasks that you normally do every week in a way that feels connected to something deeper, something beyond the normal day-to-day. Because if you feel stuck on autopilot, something like this will help to change it up enough for you where you are still getting done everything that you need to, but in a more connected manner, or in a way that feels special, in a way that brings lightness and brightness to your week. So I know I mentioned this was a very different topic, but I hope that you found some inspiration in it, in the way that you carry through your week and how you use the energy of each day of the week to get done all that it is that you are needing to. Especially during a time of year when we may feel tired. This is that spark that's going to help you to move ahead. So give it a try this coming week. See what happens. See if you notice a difference. Do you feel like you're blocked up against energy with whatever tasks you're doing, or do you feel more in flow? I want to thank you all so much for listening to today's episode and for your support of the podcast. I am so very appreciative, and I hope you all have a wonderful week filled with great energy and great inspiration. Talk with you soon.